In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we are continuing our podcast on antidepressant medications.
Lots of stuff.
We had part one last episode. We're doing part two today. We'll hopefully get through it. If not, we may have a part three, but that's okay. If you haven't listened to part one, you can jump back an episode, listen, and then you'll be caught up, or you can just listen to it after this one. You'll get the information either way. You'll collect it all.
Yep.
And as usual, we're giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown.
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit.
Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? It is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist, and we are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
You better be.
We are here in the Podcast Your Voice, Southfield Studios, the Palatial Studios.
David,
hanging out on a Monday night doing a podcast.
I got to tell you that, yes, we had a small sabbatical over the holidays.
We did.
January was a little bit bumpy getting together.
Uh-huh.
But I'll tell you, Monday nights are back.
Yes, we
Monday
are back.
nights, we are here.
And those of you who don't know, we broadcast live on Facebook Live on the Motor City Hypnotist Facebook page or on the Podcast Your Voice Facebook page.
Correct.
Check out either of those sources. You can watch us live, join in the discussion, ask questions, be a part of the show. We would love to have you just check in and say hello.
Say hi.
Yeah, say hi. If you're in, if you're watching, if you're on Facebook Live, drop a note. Let me tell you, folks, where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. Prom and grad season are upon us. It's only a couple months away. I'm already booked for 3 weekends in April. In fact, I'm going to Iowa 3 times in 3 weeks.
Good luck.
Saturday.
Well, your wife is going to love the alone time.
Typically what I do is I leave Saturday morning. I go do my show, which is typically at midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. And then I will always just go back to my hotel, pack up, and start driving because I'm not tired at that point. I just did a show and I'm just kind of amped up. So I'll drive for maybe a couple, 3 hours and then just kind of find a place to take a nap.
But you got to give Kendra some of that alone time, dude.
Oh, well, our son and his girlfriend are at the house all the time.
So she's
not
never
really
alone.
No.
So you need to let her go to the shows in
she
Iowa.
could. Yeah, she wants to do them. She could. Yeah, absolutely.
She could go with you.
So these are booking up quickly. So if you have a post-prom or a post-grad party and you need entertainment, now's the time to book it. motorcityhypnotist.com/shows, I believe.
Do it.
My social media links, Facebook and YouTube, are both Motor City Hypnotist, and Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok are Motor City Hypno, HYPNO.
Thank you.
And as we've done every episode, going back to number 1, text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. Within a few moments, you'll get a text message with a downloadable PDF. It's a hypnosis guide that I wrote. It will give you some general information on hypnosis and how and why it works. And it will also give you a link to my Google business page where you can leave a review.
All right.
Review is much appreciated. It helps us out. Just take a time, leave the review, and whatever platform you're listening, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever it is, leave a review on that platform too, because that greatly helps us get in front of more people and helps grow the show. All right. We're ready.
Is it time?
It is time.
how winning is done.
Is it who I think it is?
No, it's not Lindsey Vonn. Okay, this story just kind of blew me away. A 13-year-old boy has been hailed a hero after swimming 4 hours through rough seas to rescue his family.
Wait. He swam 4 hours to rescue his family.
Yes, a 13-year-old boy has been hailed a hero after swimming 4 hours through rough seas to rescue his family.
All right, where did this happen?
A family of 4 was enjoying a holiday in Australia's southwest coast near Quindaloop when strong winds blew their inflatable paddleboards out to sea. The boy was
Sorry, go on.
The boy was separated from his mom and 2 siblings before his canoe began to take on water.
Okay.
Wearing a life jacket, he began to swim against the wind towards the shore, knowing every second counted in a race to get help to save his family.
Okay.
Commander Paul Breslin with the volunteer organization Cape Naturalist Marine Rescue said that the boy swam for 2 hours with his life jacket on. And the brave fella thought he's not going to make it with his life jacket on, so he ditched it. And he swam the next 2 hours without a life jacket.
What the actual...
said Breslin. I thought, mate, that is incredible. You might say it's dumb, but...
Please, go on.
Once ashore, he successfully raised the alarm and a multi-agency search and rescue operation was mobilized, including Western Australia's State Water Police and its rescue helicopter. The team provided detailed descriptions of the paddleboards, and within the hour, his family was rescued by boat, having drifted 7 miles out into the Indian Ocean.
In an inflatable raft?
Yeah.
Go on.
Hold on. Paddleboards. They were on paddleboards.
They were on
paddleboards.
Holy shnikes.
So not even a raft. It's just a, paddleboard. When the rescuers arrived, the 47-year-old mother was struggling to keep her daughter 8 and an eldest son 14 affixed to the paddleboard in the choppy waters.
Okay.
Physically, she said, I'm struggling. I can't. But she just said they're looking her in the eye, and she just kept going and kept them together, Mr. Breslin said, adding she deserved enormous praise for her perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
ABC reported that the family were assessed at a local hospital and quickly discharged before taking the time to visit the rescue organization to thank them in person.
Sure.
Southwest Police Inspector James Bradley said the story highlights some important ocean safety aspects. All members of the family were wearing life jackets, a key positive. Wind speeds near shore should always be carefully monitored as well before going out on the water.
Okay, so I have questions.
Yeah, we always do on these Winners of the Week.
And the young man who swam 4 hours, 2 hours with the life jacket, 2 hours without, he was 13.
Yep.
And the 14-year-old son stayed behind.
Yep.
To take care of mom and his sister.
Yes.
Because mom was...
From what I get, and maybe it's just reading into it, I think the 13-year-old drifted away from them and just wasn't part of the group anymore.
On paddleboards.
Yes.
In the
Indian Ocean.
In the Indian Ocean near Australia.
Yep.
Because you used the word mate a couple of times.
Yes, they did say mate.
I'm glad they're safe. I'm so happy that they're alive and that they're safe. But why would you go on the Indian Ocean in paddleboards when you see potentially the weather that's coming in from the coast across? I
know.
have questions.
I know. And in these situations, there are always questions like, how did you get into the situation to begin with?
Darwin's going, watch this.
know.
And God is saying, no, that's not happening. So.
But if it all made sense, we'd never have these stories. So
no, you're right.
I mean,
I'm glad they're alive.
Yeah,
super.
It's cool. It's cool.
But I have to question the decisions that were made.
I know.
Here.
I mean, look at most of the people who get stuck, or
I'm not looking you in the eye for a reason.
No, I know.
I feel bad about my opinion.
No. I understand totally what you're saying. So anyway, though, I can't imagine swimming for 4 minutes, much less 4 hours.
Okay, so for him to swim for 4 hours, 2 with the life jacket, 2 without. So what did that life jacket without? That 2 hours without the life jacket. That's just like that. That's obscene.
I know. It's crazy. 2 hours
for a
Just
13-year-old child.
Yes. Yeah. I know.
I'm proud of him.
I couldn't do it.
Neither could I, but I'm proud of
Yeah.
him for sticking it out
Yeah.
and doing the right thing for his
Absolutely.
family and saving them. Good
And
job,
that's why
buddy.
it's winner of the week. Yeah.
That's how winning is done.
I'll be honest with you,
Yes,
Dave.
it is.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, so back to it. Yeah. Do it. Oh, wait.
So,
yeah.
back to it.
Sometimes I feel bad about my opinions and the decisions that are made in some of these winners of the week. And I'm so happy that you share that they're fine and that they're alive and that they're thriving.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the point is, why? Why would you put yourself in that situation?
I know. Well, I mean, but we can ask that every day. I mean,
you walk out of the
I
house.
talk to clients every day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, just humans make poor decisions in general.
Yeah. In general.
I'd say.
Yeah, fair. And we all make poor decisions at some point in our life, but you're on a freaking
and these poor
paddleboard.
decisions could cause depression. And you know, it might help with that, Matt.
Nice segue.
Antidepressants.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about today. We're talking part 2 of antidepressant medications.
Go ahead.
So
Go on.
the first one, we kind of described a little bit about what your brain, how it functions. We're talking about synapses and electrical impulses and neurotransmitters. And we covered the early days of antidepressants, which were kind of discovered on accident because they developed a drug for tuberculosis that had the side effect of improving people's mood and making them feel less sad and depressed.
Right.
So we talked about SSRIs. We mentioned the three most popular ones, Prozac, Zoloft, and Lexapro, which were developed later on to work a little bit differently.
Under a lot of massive research and
I'm
development.
sure.
Yeah,
Yes. So the next class of medication that we're going to start off with today is called SNRIs. SNRIs.
Which stands for?
Well, I'm going to get there in a minute because it's not on this page. Hopefully. You know what? I don't even know what that initial stands for. I mean, I know it in I know it in my head somewhere, but it's not on my notes. So anyway, SNRIs work differently because SNRIs affect serotonin and norepinephrine. So whereas the SSRIs only block serotonin, the SNRIs affect serotonin and norepinephrine.
Serotonin and norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors.
So it works the same way as an SSRI. It just works on 2 brain chemicals instead of 1, if that makes sense. Because it affects serotonin and norepinephrine. SSRIs just work on serotonin.
The SNRIs are also around the nerve pain, chronic nerve pain.
Yep. I'm going to get there.
Okay.
Yep. So examples of SNRIs, and these are fairly newer medications over the past 20, 30 years. Effexor, Cymbalta. Those are 2 major ones. Because norepinephrine is involved in these medications, it involves alertness and activity. So what happens with SNRIs, it can sometimes help with motivation and can relieve certain chronic pain conditions. So there's another use for these other than being just strictly an antidepressant. They can also be used for pain management.
Interesting.
Yes. Another class, TCAs. Now, these are older class, tricyclic, and we talked about that in the last episode. We mentioned that, so you can go back and kind of get a review on that. But these are older classes of antidepressants, and examples of these include amitriptyline and nortriptyline. So these affect multiple neurotransmitters, but they also interact with other receptors in the brain, which leads to more side effects like dry mouth, constipation, weight gain, and possibly cardiac concerns.
Holy crap.
So they're used, but typically they're not widely used because of the side effects. So, so they're really not the first choice in most cases.
What I find really interesting is the commercials that we see today, whether it be about antidepressants, whether it be about your heart health, whether it be about, anything, they they list out the side effects.
Yep.
And they read them out.
Yep.
They have to now.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's like any other medication. You get a whole list. You get the pamphlet. You get the paper thing with your prescriptions when you get them.
You get the but on television.
Yeah. Oh no. All of these commercials will state that. Yeah.
It's amazing to me that people will put themselves through these side effects to feel better.
Here's the thing. And I do understand. And again, I'll give you anecdotal information.
Please.
because I can't point to a study per se, although I could look one up probably. But with a lot of my clients that are severely depressed, and when you're severely depressed, often you're suicidal, often you self-harm.
Yeah.
Often you can't hold a job or relationships, or you can't interact with your family. So compare that to gaining 10 or 20 pounds. Yes, neither one is ideal, but one is a much preferable outcome than the other one.
And we touched on that in the last episode. What is more important?
Yes.
And I totally understand, and I appreciate that opinion.
Well, and the way I kind of counter that with clients who may have these concerns, because they'll say I've even had clients say, well, I don't want to take this medication. It'll make me gain weight. It'll, I'm worried about the side effects. I'm like, but listen, over time, we can work on the side effects. But if you're feeling less depressed, you're going to be more motivated. That enables us to start working on these other things that could come up as side effects.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You put somebody on a medication and they may have to wean off a different medication, which can take 2 to 4 weeks. And they're taking a new medication that could take 2 to 4 weeks for it to actually start working.
Yes.
Why isn't there something that helps now? Is it the brain chemistry?
It's the brain chemistry. And with antidepressants, that it builds up in your bloodstream over time until you get to that full dosage.
But Dave, I'm depressed now.
Right. But here's the problem. So let's take just random medication. Say the starting dose is 25 milligrams. Doctors start with that. We want to make sure there are no side effects. We want to make sure that this is something that's going to work. Then that initial dose is typically about a month or so, give or take, to get into your system and build up in your bloodstream. At that point, we come back and we revisit it and say, is there any effect from this? Do you see any difference? And if there is, then we can up that dose.
We're going to slowly get you hooked on a drug. That's why they start you with such a low dose.
Right.
And then if it's not working, they'll up the dose.
So here's the things, and this is a thing a lot of clients kind of struggle with. But that's why I'm honest with that.
As someone on the outside looking in who doesn't take medication, I'll be totally honest with you.
No, that's fine.
I find it really difficult to understand the increase, the starting dose, but then the increase to get you more hooked on said drug.
It always depends, because you're only going to increase it if the symptoms are not fully managed.
Subsiding, managed.
Yes, correct. And here's the other thing I say to people, that psychotropic medication is a little bit of a crapshoot, because we're hitting on all these different classes of antidepressants that work different ways. Yes. So, and everybody's physiology is different. So there is something within the last 10 years that has become super helpful. And this is not even in my show notes, but I want to divert to this because I think it's very important. There's a test. It's a blood test called gene site testing. That's the name of this test. And what it does, they analyze your blood and they determine which medications you're more likely to have side effects from rather than other medications.
I'm happy that this exists.
For example, gene site testing, you'll get the results back and it may say Zoloft and Prozac are in the green, but Cymbalta and Effexor are in the red. So automatically we know these might be more problematic than these.
Sure.
Based on that blood test.
Finally.
So that has helped kind of narrow down at least the class of medication we should be using.
With the amount of technology enhancements that we've had over the past 15 years, I'm glad that we can now determine which medications are going to work
right,
potentially better.
It's more so which medications are not going to interfere as far as side effects go.
Okay. You say side effects.
Yes,
But,
correct.
but when I say, when I'm looking at it, I don't want the side effects.
No, well, absolutely.
I want the medication I'm taking to do what it's supposed to do
without the side effects.
Without the side effects.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
that's what I'm happy that we have the technology to know what that is. Now, do I want to see the technology grow to say this is exactly the medication that will treat said
that would
symptoms?
be fantastic.
That's what I'm looking
and
for.
I don't believe that's ever going to happen. I just think the physiology is so different, and everybody's
and
processing of this medication is different as well.
And I'm very naive about this, and
That's okay.
I'll admit it from day one. But yes, I would love to have a medication that will tell me this will help from day one.
Right.
Because that's what everyone wants to know.
Well, sure.
I want something that's going to fix me.
Well, and
me.
that is the challenge. And again, I want to be totally honest and upfront. Again, when psychotropic medication is not an exact science. It's just not.
It's not, because everyone's brain chemistry is different.
Right.
We all have our synapses fire on different levels in many different ways, whether you're awake or asleep.
And
you can
it
have
depends
the side
on your
effects.
gender. It depends on your weight. It depends on your diet. It depends on
your ancestry.
other medications,
Your ancestry.
your hereditary.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many factors driving this.
Right. And is there a perfect world out there? Probably in a different universe.
Maybe.
I believe
that would
in
be great if we could do that, for sure.
But we have to deal with the hand that's dealt to us.
Yep. So we're going to back up a little bit and talk about the next class, which are the first antidepressants developed, the MAOIs. So the way these work is they block the enzyme monoamine oxidase. This enzyme breaks down neurotransmitters in the brain, which could cause depression.
Like the blocking of neurotransmitters?
No, that this breaks it down, like it dilutes it.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense.
It does.
That might be not scientifically accurate, but for the description that fits.
Dilute works.
Yes. But here are the kind of the downfall of MAOIs is that there are definite dietary restrictions.
Oh, yeah.
When you're taking this medication, because there's dangerous interactions with foods that contain tyramine.
Like grapefruit and pineapple and those types of, okay.
And typically MAOIs are usually reserved for people with treatment resistant depression, which means we've tried other medications or we've tried other approaches.
Well, here comes the ECT.
Resistant. Well, yeah, but the MAOI is better than the ECT. I mean, we're getting to that.
You're right.
So there's another class called the atypical antidepressants. These really don't fit into the other categories because they work a little bit differently. And there are a couple of examples of an atypical antidepressant. One is Wellbutrin. It's a very common medication. Yep. Many people are taking this. This works more on dopamine and norepinephrine, and it tends to have fewer sexual side effects. And the good thing on Wellbutrin, it could increase your energy.
Okay.
So there are a couple positives for that.
There might be some weight loss involved there. Yep. Okay.
Remeron,
I've never heard
that's the brand name. It's mirtazapine. Is the scientific name.
I've never heard that term.
Yep. So Remeron is a antidepressant that can be sedating, which means it could cause you drowsiness. But what it also does is it Remeron is used a lot for people who have I can't think of a general thing. People who need to gain weight.
Oh,
so Remeron is sedating, but it increases appetite. So people that take Remeron end up being more hungry in case they have
You mean like supermodels?
I mean, could be.
Yeah, because
I'm just saying.
From the bulimia and whatever. Okay.
So Remeron can be sedating and increase appetite, and it can be helpful. Those things can be helpful in certain situations.
So don't take a GLP-1 with it.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So here's the thing. And again, here's the thing that everybody asks, do they work? Or is this just a bunch of horse shit? You know what I mean? It's because clients will say this is just a pill. What's it going to do? I don't know.
So that is as a individual, my opinion, I have a problem with people who just prescribe medications to treat one symptom. Right. It happens, unfortunately, a lot.
Right.
It happens a lot.
Yep.
And next thing you know, you're on another medication, and then you're on another medication. Next thing you know, you're on 14 different medications.
Well, and I do have clients that I've seen that come in and they say, I'm on this, and they'll count out like 8 or 9 medications. And I'm like, we need to take a step back and reevaluate for sure. I mean, there's Matt, I'm agreeing with you. There's a lot of doctors that overprescribe. There are pill mills all over this area. Those exist.
I wouldn't say overprescribe. I would say treat and street.
Right.
Because they just want to get the person treated and see them out the door.
Sure.
And then get paid by said insurance company. And that's a big problem.
Well, sure, but and that can be a problem not just in psychotropic medications, with anything. I don't know if you've read that story about that doctor who is
which one?
They were doing cancer treatments on people who didn't have cancer.
Yes, I did see that. It's
ridiculous.
Yes. It pulls at my heartstrings.
I know.
And it makes me very sad.
And unfortunately, I mean, you're gonna, in any profession, you're gonna have these one-offs who are just unethical and, but here's the thing. Back to the question. Do they work? Yes, they do work for moderate to severe depression. And research has been done, a lot of research, and I can reference some studies maybe in a later podcast, but they show that antidepressants far exceed placebos in study groups.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So we know they work.
The medical treatment is sound. It's there.
Yes.
It's supposed
it's
to
when it's prescribed and who's getting it.
And who's prescribing it.
Right, that too. So here's the thing, and we talked about this, we mentioned this just a little bit early. For mild depression, Matt, therapy alone can be effective without the medication. And I always say to my clients, medication is not a solution. Mm-hmm. Medication is a tool. Mm-hmm. Medication is a tool that can help us get to a point where you can more effectively utilize therapy.
And that's why I appreciate what you do, because you get to the point where, okay, I see where you are. Mm-hmm. I see you.
Yep.
I hear you.
Yep.
Why don't we walk down this aisle to find out base roots and then treat those base roots from ground up?
Right. That would be my preference for every client.
And that should be the challenge for everybody.
But again, let me put my therapist hat on for a minute. The challenge with that is that when somebody's severely depressed, they're not able to work on anything. We're not able to talk.
I get that.
It prevents them from processing the feelings they need to process.
And I appreciate that. And I get that. But if they want to get better, they want to get better.
Yep.
And if they're in front of you for a reason, if they're seeing somebody for a reason, they're there to get better. And and it takes a very big person to accept.
Right.
Acceptance is a big part.
So I will say again, and just to re-emphasize this, if you're seeing a doctor and they're prescribing you psychotropic medications and you're not in therapy, consider doing that, because
you got to do
in our clinic,
hand in hand.
In our clinic, we have a psychiatrist, Dr. Singh. He prescribes psychotropic medications, but our policy at our facility is that if you see Dr. Singh for medication, you have to see a therapist.
Yeah.
That's because medication's not the answer. It's simply a tool to help you get the most out of therapy.
So let me open up a Pandora box. Yeah, Pandora's box.
All right.
So do insurance companies do they recognize that?
As far as
if you're being diagnosed or if you are being prescribed a psychotropic medication, therapy has to be involved.
Oh no, insurance companies, they'd rather you not do it because they don't have to pay for it. No, that's insurance companies.
See,
Matt, let me tell you something, and I'm going to call this out online publicly.
All right.
Molina Healthcare. It's a Medicaid sponsored plan. Starting in the middle to the end of November, I noticed our revenue
of 2025,
just this past year,
of 2025,
couple months ago.
Okay.
So right near the end of November, I'm like, our revenue seems to be a little bit down this month. We get into December. Couple weeks in, I'm like,
hey, our revenue's down even more.
We're not getting consistent payments from Molina, and we would get checks every day from them. Come to find out, very long story short, they changed their billing codes as far as just the way the billing needed to be done.
So is that on you or the biller?
Well, we were never notified. That's the whole thing.
Ugh.
There was never we never received notification. There was never anything sent. There was nothing in my Facebook groups that I'm a part of that a lot of clinic owners are a part of. So no, this came out of the blue, and we didn't realize it till like a month in when we realized what is going on with these payments.
Mm-hmm.
We get the statement last month. Do you know how much they owe us right now?
I can only
now.
I don't want to put a dollar
No,
amount on it.
I'm going to tell you.
I just
$58,000.
Okay, so you put a dollar amount on there.
Yes.
It's exorbitant.
Yes.
And they changed their rules without notifying their practitioners.
So we have hundreds of claims that have been denied and just sitting out there now that we have to correct and rebill.
Well,
so
correcting is easy. Rebilling,
well, because again, we have to wait for another billing cycle. We submit it; it could take weeks to get it paid. So that's the chance. And again, when I talk about insurance companies, and I'm going to say this right out, they don't give a rat's ass about people. They only care about not paying.
If you're going to say that out loud, I appreciate you for that,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate the position that you're in.
Yep.
There's a gray area. They should have done X. You're doing A. There has to be an MNLOP in there somewhere for everyone to come together.
You would think.
And it's just not happening.
Nope.
So who's at fault?
They are.
Okay.
The insurance company is. We've stopped taking a couple of insurance companies specifically because Meridian, and I'm going to say them out loud, Meridian Insurance is a Medicaid plan, and Aetna Better Health, which is also a Medicaid plan.
Those are big names.
Meridian audited, and now it's not unusual. I've talked about this on the podcast before. It's not unusual for insurance companies to do a random audit on cases. It's fine. Meridian, Matt, I'm not kidding. The stack of paper was over a foot high.
I believe it.
Thousands of pages. And then they asked me to mail them to them.
All right.
These records, these privileged medical records, they wanted me to mail them in the mail.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you are one practitioner out of hundreds of thousands that are out there. If they change their internal policies, that happens. That is the corporate world.
So take 58,000 times up by hundreds.
Right. And who's covered, who's not, who hasn't paid their premiums, who hasn't done this. It's just a absolute, what is that? A card castle?
Yeah. House of cards.
House of cards.
Yeah.
It breaks down.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the responsibility falls on the insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, who is absolutely responsible for the people they're treating? You.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot stop doing what you're doing
right.
because you care about your patients, your clients, the people that come and see you on a day-to-day, week to week, month to month basis. You want to make sure that they are treated properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you have to go into the red, you will. Will there be people out there that don't agree with that? Absolutely. Because
honestly, we could have said to all our Molina clients, hey, they're not paying us. Sorry, can't see you anymore.
Right. And that's why I appreciate your practice more than anything else, is because you do the right thing.
Well, and it's tough to do the right thing because we have been super tight financially because of this. I mean, think about that. You take 60 grand of revenue away in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're feeling it.
We're in February.
Sure.
We're in February.
I know.
This happened over the holidays?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See, that's a big problem.
Uh-huh. I know.
It's the end of the year. They change their billing cycle.
We could do a whole sidebar on just insurance companies, and it would be
I know we're talking about antidepressants, and we have to get back to that.
Yes.
But people that are going through depression, they have to think and take the blinders off. It's not just about you. This is about everybody that's involved with anyone that has a doctor. They are suffering. They need assistance. They need help. They need medication. It is the most convoluted industry I've ever been a part of.
This Matt, this is the only industrialized nation that has healthcare for profit. That's a fact.
It's a fact.
It is. And And believe me, I'm not. I want to be very careful when I say this. I do not condone violence of any type.
Absolutely,
I do not condone terminating anyone's life. But you can see why this United Healthcare CEO was killed.
Yeah,
because people are just fed up. They're exhausted. They're just tired of things just being there. Again, this week I could rant on this for hours. I really could.
Yes, we could. And the fact that the person who was allegedly responsible for said act of CEO of United Healthcare, he has mental issues.
Yes.
And were they treated? And were they treated appropriately?
That's a great question.
And it could, and any defense attorney is going to just lick their chops and just go after said insurance company. And it's because this individual was probably on some medication at some point in time.
It's just goes back to money and power controls the narrative.
Yeah,
that's the problem. So let's get back because there's one section
because we're talking
way
about
off
topic.
Why do they work? Why do antidepressants work? Yes, they do. And we talked about and we mentioned this quickly. I don't know if it's last session, Matt, or this one, because you said it doesn't have an effect immediately. It often takes 2 to 6 weeks to notice improvement.
Mm-hmm.
So here's why. It's not about just getting that medication into your system and having it change something. What happens in the brain is that you have to train the receptors to behave differently. And oftentimes you have to create new neural pathways with this medication. That's why it takes time to have an effect.
I go back to folks that have had strokes.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a stroke, certain areas of your brain, they for lack of a better term, they die.
Yep.
And your brain has to rewire itself to pick up a fork, to put a ski boot on, to I watched an individual within 8-9 months go from a stroke to skiing in Montana.
Yeah.
Because the brain rewired itself.
Yes, it does.
The brain, every medication that we talked about this episode and the last episode, it's all about the brain and how it responds and how it helps us to cope on a daily basis.
Right.
Everyone's brain is different.
Yeah.
And that's why this industry, that's why these medications, it's so convoluted as to what works and what doesn't.
You're right. Absolutely. So here's the thing. And we met, and I hit on this. It's in my notes, and I want to repeat this. The best outcomes often come from combination of therapy and medication.
Thank you.
Not just one or the other. Medication can reduce the intensity of symptoms, which will allow you to better utilize therapy.
Mm-hmm.
That's our belief. That's what our, again, that's what our guideline is in our clinic. If you see Dr. Singh, you have to see a therapist because you're getting medication.
It's 1 and 2.
Yep. So let me just check something here.
God, tell me we're gonna do.
No, we're gonna do a part 3.
Oh,
because no,
God.
There's a lot more. We have a lot more.
Just
this
wait
is very
until
useful
next week
for people. So we are going to do a part 3 of antidepressant medications.
Right.
I want to get into like myths and misconceptions and things like that.
You said
I think will be
did you say
for you.
myths?
Myths.
MYTHS?
Myths and misconceptions.
Myths and misconceptions. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, there's more stuff to
so
cover.
much
So
more.
we're going to do a part 3.
All right.
So for today, that is the episode.
This was intense.
Before we take off,
this was intense.
Somebody needs a home.
Who's that?
Minnie was last episode. This one is Mittens.
Mittens
needs a home.
Who's that? Oh,
Mittens.
Look at those ears.
I was trying to see the feet to see if they actually have. So I had a dog that was totally black and had white paws. We called her Socks.
Of course.
And I tried to look at that back paws, kind of
see,
telling
I-
a little bit, but I wanted to see the front paws.
Yeah, I see a little socks on the back paws. Look at, oh my goodness.
Mittens.
She's adorable.
Mittens was born in October of 2025. She's only a few months old. Shepherd pit bull mix.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I see the shepherd. I see the pit bull in the ears.
Really?
The shepherd face.
Yeah, the face. I don't get either one from the face.
I get the shepherd face, but the ears are definitely pit bull.
She's a female, estimated to be 50 to 60 pounds, full
Perfect.
grown.
That's a beautiful dog.
Dog friendly, yes. Cat friendly, yes. Kid friendly, yes.
Did you say yes to the cat friendly? Give me that picture.
Yes. Here.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Oh, she's adorable.
Yeah.
See, I would take her home in a
Yes,
second.
absolutely.
God, I want every single dog that you've shown.
I know. So Mittens needs a home.
God bless.
She's 3 months old. She wants a place to call her forever home.
Please.
Go get her. DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt. Alrighty, folks, we'll be back next week, next Monday evening. Join us on Facebook Live on the Motor City Hypnotist Facebook page or the Podcast Your Voice Facebook page to join in the conversation, ask questions, just be a part of the show. And we'll address antidepressant medications part 3.
I love this.
All right.
Go on.
So that's it for today. Change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time.